Good morning. Now it is. My name is Taylor. This is BeamtUp Tech. Today is Saturday, and that means it's Tech Day. We're going to be talking about these bad boys. I'm going to just put these right up here. Okay. I should do that with all the new products. That'd be fun. I don't have like a 5 best things or 5 new things. I'm just going to go through the list of things I noticed while using them. The thing that stood out the most to me was ambient sound is way better. Like it's effective now. Like huge difference. With the old buds, during a call, I didn't feel confident enough in the microphone's quality for it to like properly pick up my voice in multiple different situations. Like at work, there's a couple of coolers that I get close to and they're pretty loud, and when somebody calls me on the other buds, there was just too much noise interference. Whenever outside noise would come in on the original ones, the buds would think that was vocal input, and then my actual voice would get missed a lot. And no such problem with these. Like these, I can actually be like, oh, I'm getting a call. Open them up, bloop, hello, and do not have to worry about them not being able to hear me. Like the call quality's fine, and that's something I'm delighted about. That was one of my main pain points with the original ones, is because it just wasn't quite good enough for me to feel like I could reliably, when I'm getting a call, just open them up, stick one in, and be like, hey, what's up, and continue on about, which is really what wireless earbuds should enable you to do, right? With the separation of the tweeter and the mid and low woofer, I suppose, the bass does sound noticeably better. It's not like, whoa, man, but it's nice. And there's a marked improvement. The bud gels are now like a translucent color versus the solid white that they were before. I guess it helps them to appear less dirty instead of making the earwax easier to see by it being on a solid surface. This one's purely aesthetic, but the shiny fin, I don't know if can you see that? Hold on. Don't lock the zoom tip. The shiny finish that they put on this, instead of the matte from the previous casing, is way up. It's purely aesthetic, but I like it a lot better. The white case, the matte finish, I had it in my pocket a lot along with a bunch of other stuff, and it started getting really grimy looking and dirty, and like I had gum in the same pocket, and there would be like green smudges of the ink from the packaging on the white casing. Now, because I don't want that to happen again, I haven't tested having spearmint gum and these in my pocket at the same time, but because it just feels like a less porous surface, and thus less of an opportunity for things to get on it that you don't want to get on it. Breakfast. Also, the opening and closing of the case feels better this time around, because with the original, you would open the case up and then there'd be a little bloop for it to stay open while you took the buds out. And with this one, hold on, let me zoom in for you again. With this one, it's a lot smoother. There's not that little extra catch at its fully open position to make it stay open. And then as you close it too, it feels more premium. It feels like it feels like they did a better job with the mechanics of the lid. And as trivial as that might sound, you're going to be opening and closing this thing a lot, so it needs to feel good, especially for $150. It definitely feels better than the first. The Galaxy Buds Plus interface has also gotten an overhaul. It's much cleaner now. You get the information that you need a lot faster, and it's more efficient. The ambient sound controls have changed a little bit. Now you have a little bit of ambient sound, more ambient sound, and then a lot of ambient sound. And it's really not a lot. It's their way of simplifying, like, hey, how much input do you want from the external mics when this thing is on? The equalizer settings actually, well, there's not huge differences, but I remember none of the other settings besides dynamic sounded good on the original ones. And now the way it is, when you switch different modes, it's subtle, but I found that all of them had something of value to add to it, instead of just dynamic being the only acceptable setting that I liked. So that's nice. The notification section hasn't really gotten that much of a change. It's still the same, like, hey, which apps do you want notifications from? And the texting is just as annoying as it was before. Messages, like, I don't want to hear that. I know that my phone vibrated, but anyway. The touchpad controls have not changed too much, but something that I didn't notice from before is, do we have the lock touchpad option on the first buds? I cannot remember because I never actually used it. I've accidentally paused or played my music when taking them out. Being able to lock them is nice. The user definable touch and hold options haven't changed either. They're still the same 3 there. In the advanced menu, there's only one option. but it's a useful one. It's turning on ambient sound while you're on the phone. And you know how when your ears are like plugged up by earbuds instead of like Apple's AirPods that don't create a seal in your ear with the ear gels, it's hard to gauge how loud you're being, especially on the phone or when talking to somebody else too. So when you get a call, you have the option to turn this on so you can hear yourself talk and them at the same time to just better gauge your vocal volume. Find my earbuds. Actually, I haven't tried this feature yet on the new ones. Let's see what that sounds like now. That's about as loud as they get. I was thinking that maybe with the maybe with the tweeter that they put in there, that it might aid that volume. Oops. Oop, there we go. But it didn't, seemingly. Kitty! Hi baby, come here. Phoebe has actually learned that if she really wants pets, to come and get them, aka get in my lap, because I've wanted her to do that for a long time and she just doesn't. Come on, come on. There you go. There's the Phoebes. The general menu doesn't really offer any new things except being able to reset the buds. So there's that. There's of course the ability to check the buds for a software update, then the basic user manual, but the labs is where it gets a little more interesting. The experimental features include, and are limited to, double tapping the edge of the earbud on the left or right side to turn the volume up or down. And if this actually worked, it'd be really great. Now, the first time I tried this, I held it for some reason. I think I forgot that it was a double tap instead of a hold. So I'll have to try that again to see if it'll work. Extra high ambient mode. The way the ambient mode is right now with it on the top setting of the original 3 that they give you is good enough for me. I haven't tried it because I don't think it's necessary. Maybe if people want to use it as a hearing aid, because you do hear like things that you don't usually hear. But anyway, the one I was the most excited about was called Gaming Mode, and that's, here I can just... Gaming Mode is a mode that's designed to reduce the latency from between what you see on the screen and then hearing it in the buds. And I was like, oh my goodness, I could use this to edit videos with Adobe Premiere Rush, because historically, with the original buds, when you're editing videos, when you're cutting the different clips and stuff, if the audio is out of sync by just a few milliseconds, then it makes editing accurately very difficult and it's almost pointless. So I was like, whoa, this could work! And it didn't. I have a feeling that that's Adobe's fault, though. Sorry, Adobe, but your support of the S20 series with Adobe Premiere Rush sucks, because you should have had it ready before they came out. You should have. Shame on you. Please fix. However, I did play an actual game, Fortnite Mobile, and there wasn't a noticeable delay. I could comfortably play, wait, hold on, how did I write that? Because I'm stumbling through my words right now a lot. There we go. I could comfortably, wait, when playing an actual game though, on Fortnite Mobile, I could play comfortably without any... Why do I keep forgetting? It's just one sentence! When playing an actual game, it did seem to be pretty lag-free, although enough that I could... Wow! Words and reading, Taylor. Shall we go back to 3rd grade? Enough that I could play comfortably without issue. Don't know why that sentence was so hard to get out of my mouth, but there you have it. Another little delightful extra tidbit is the ability to turn on ambient mode when you only have one bud in. With the originals, you could not do this. I would like put the right one in and then press the hold and it just wouldn't do it, because I think what they thought was, oh, they only have one side in, that means that they can still hear because they have one ear that doesn't have it in there, so let's not even give them an option to do that. But if you've ever had one of the buds in on one side and then we're trying to do things, I'm sure you noticed that it was still difficult to hear people talking to you just because one side of your ear is plugged up and probably receiving audio from another source. So being able to turn on ambient mode if it's just one bud, I was very happy to see that included. Also, as far as memory goes, I was very, very happy to see that when you have ambient mode turned on and then you take the buds out and put them back in the case, then they will remember that you had ambient mode on the next time you plug them in. So it's like, I got you, bro. I remember. Oh, something else that was really annoying with the last buds is that when you open them up and your phone was on, you would see a toast notification, a little gray thing could pop down at the bottom. It's like connected to buds. Like that's Android saying, hey, I connected to a Bluetooth device, right? And then Samsung's like little animation of the buds getting connected to would pop up along with that, and then the volume indicator that comes from Android's automation pops up at the top showing you how loud they're going to be after getting connected. It was just a whole bunch of screen clutter at once. And now, it's way cleaner. It's like, that's nice. Nice little animation, that's nice. It shows me what I need to know. Eye candy, very pretty. I really enjoy that little touch. Little touch. I'm also hella enjoying this coffee, like, oh my goodness. You know what, just for S&Gs, we're gonna try the extra loud ambient mode and see what that does, okay? Oh man, it's just so nice. Like, it's, maybe it had to be there, but it's sexy. All right, extra high ambient mode, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, add an extra volume level, so we're gonna go up here. Oh wow, that's actually really awesome. Oh, my own voice is a little bit too loud, but Phoebe's eating like way over there in the corner, and I can hear a little. That's nice. I might actually keep that on. It's like I have super hearing. This is great. I should try these outside, but not right now. As you probably already know, battery life is significantly improved. Like, I used them like pretty much all day for 2 full days of work, and I was like, what is recharging? What is that? It's nice. Worth it, especially if you got any kind of the Samsung credits if you pre-ordered any of the S20s. Put it towards the Buds Plus, or one of the nice, awesome LED cases that like sparkle on the back. Sorry about not posting last Saturday. Things were a little hectic. In light of everything that's going on, wash your phones. Chances are you have a phone that is water resistant. Just like with the ports facing down, just run some water, get some soap on your hand, and be like, like on the side, on the back, and then just rinse it off, all with the ports facing down, and that's all. Because think about it. Toilet seats get cleaned more often than these things do. Thank you for watching, and stay beam. Thank you for watching, and stay beam. Fidget. I can't even fake an accident. Thank you for watching, and stay button. Beamin'. Also, I found this weird red button laying around. Go ahead and poke that and just let me know what it does. I don't know what it's for.